This is GABNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, hey, this is Alex, and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight from New York, New York. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our telethon once again for Will Durst. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's Will Durst. We also finally made it so he isn't a sliver anymore. He's the full screen.
The Will Durst telethon.
The Will Durst telethon. Look pathetic. Okay. Now look happy because they sent you lots of money. Now look pathetic again, and get your face in the center of the picture, because this is going to make us the big bucks. Will, just look like you're out of it, and you've had a massive stroke, and you're just a complete.
I had a stroke?
Well, that's the rumor going around. Yes.
Oh man. No wonder I've been in bed for so long.
You thought you just overslept, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I thought I was Rip Van Winkle, and I just slept through the pandemic.
Oh boy.
The Chinese flu.
Yeah. Oh, here comes a vacuum cleaner in the background.
That's okay.
Because I got the cleaning woman's here today.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. I pray that she is a documented alien, because if she isn't and I decide to run for political office, I'm dead. Yeah.
Yeah, remember the guy from the Clinton administration?
Yeah. Well, all I know is that I'm kind of pissed, as it were. I'm pissed.
You're pissed.
I'm pissed that
I went to bed and Donald Trump was president and had lots of material.
Yeah.
And I wake up and Joe Biden is president.
No material.
No material. The guy is a human speed bump.
You know what the problem is? The problem is he's on television every day. And if I were advising him, I'd say, don't do that. Because
don't do that.
Because you come across as being old and doddering.
Uncle Joe, yeah, it's moving kind of slow.
And by the way, I can say that because I'm his age. Or older. I'm older than Joe Biden.
Are you really?
Remember when you were growing up, every president was older than you were? And now every president's younger than I am?
Well, Obama was ridiculous.
Well, but when Kennedy was president, I was younger than Kennedy. Okay? When Nixon was president, I was younger than Nixon. I think the first president that I ever had that was younger than I was Clinton, because I had gotten old enough.
And he was a baby boomer.
He was a baby boomer. I'm just an inch before baby boomer, So how you doing, Will?
Oh, horrible.
That's it. Generally, the state you've been in is a horrible state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been horizontal since October 6, 2019.
October 6th. That's amazing. It's been over 2 years.
Yeah.
I remember.
But I did pick the right year to go down.
Yes, but I remember the
clubs,
first time I found out. By the way, if people hear a vacuum cleaner, it's the cleaning woman. Listen to that, folks. You hear it? See? Yeah. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. That's the folksy nature of podcasting.
It's nice to know that friends of mine have cleaning ladies.
That and cats coming into the picture. Do you ever notice when people are on television and they're doing a shot for like MSNBC, all of a sudden their cat decides to jump up on the table? Yeah.
My cat does that all the time when I'm trying to film with
I remember when we would do things.
commentary. Yeah.
Anyway, so the first time I found out you had a stroke was we were supposed to do one of these little get-togethers, and you didn't call. So I called you, and there was no answer, nothing. Okay, so all of a sudden, I figure I'll write Debbie, and I write Debbie, and she writes back, "Oh, Will had a stroke last night."
Last night.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm going, so I suppose he's not available. At that point, they didn't know how bad it was.
No, it was just a light stroke.
Was the first one a light stroke?
It was. I only had one. Yeah, and it was a light stroke.
And
But
wait a minute, it's a light.
Then I got brain infection.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, it was a light stroke. What if you didn't get the brain infection? Would you be walking now?
Nobody knows. Because nobody knows why my leg hurts.
Okay.
Idiopathic.
But they always blame it on something. They never have a good answer for any of this.
No, that's what idiopathic means.
What? They don't know.
They don't know.
Okay. But they don't want to say we don't know. They say it's idiopathic.
See?
Yeah.
They need an adjective.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to have stomach problems, like massive fits of diarrhea and then constipation. Is everybody listening to me? This is fun. Oh, by the way, let me turn on my light. We started this just because it was going to be fun to do, because we finally got a full picture on Will, and I forgot to turn on my light here. Now I look. See how good I look?
Radiant.
Yeah,
Yeah, you look radiant.
Anyway, so where was I?
Stomach
Yeah. And so they said, well, maybe it's irritable bowel syndrome,
IBS.
IBS. Now, anybody that ever goes in with stomach problems and they can't figure out what it is, they say it's IBS. They don't say, I don't know. They go, IBS. That means I'm BSing you. You have nothing, you know.
IBS. Yeah, it's the great shelter.
It's a great shelter. It's like I was mentioning the last time we were talking. That's a great excuse now with a company. You call them and you don't get any.
Why am I on hold for 45 minutes?
Oh, we just lost your picture. Oh, there we are. Why am I on hold? And they go, well, COVID. And I'm going, COVID's been around now for a year, 2 years. I think you would have gotten your act down by now.
You can say shit.
My business manager and I, Gary, you know Gary, we're trying to get a hold of Fidelity Investments, who've got like a small amount of my money to convert them from my 401k into regular stock. It's not. It's nice to have the money there, but it's not a lot. Okay, but we're trying to get one account that has. They took my 401k, made it into a normal kind of investment, but they left a little bit of my SiriusXM 401k in there. It was like $87. So then all of a sudden they charged me a yearly service charge of $45 on the $87. And we're going. We better.
Are they shining the $87 shoes?
Well, now it's down to something like 27 or something like that. And we had to call them to tell them to stop that account.
Did they put in a new kitchen?
No. But anyway, so I mean, we're on the phone for an hour waiting for somebody to pick up. An hour. With this,
right,
and you don't
just
have the
hit speakerphone and you wait there,
and you don't have the choice of no music with them. So
wow.
We're listening to nothing but the music, and we're trying to talk to each other over the music. And it's the most annoying thing in the world. And I'm thinking, number one, we're doing this only for like $27, all right, because we want to close that account down. Because they can't charge another $45 service fee at the end of the year. There isn't $45 there. You know, so I'm thinking to myself, I'm online forever trying to get something changed in my account. This is my money. They're holding my money, and I can't get to them.
Right, and at $15 an hour, which is the new minimum wage.
Yeah, yeah. I should.
I've been online for an hour. They should throw $15 in my account.
Bravo, bravo. You're absolutely correct, my friend. So that's my tale of dealing with it. But then you say to them, why did it take so long to get a hold of it? And they go, well, COVID. Right? No,
and someone told them to say that.
No, the excuse is...
They didn't come up with that on their own.
The real excuse is this company hasn't hired enough people to answer the phones.
That's what happens with a full employment economy.
Well, they got all these people working from home, but it's no problem. What they've got in front of them is all the tools they have if they were sitting in the office.
And a lot of them have those fingernails that go out like an inch or inch and a half.
Oh, yeah, how do those women survive with that?
They can't press the phone numbers.
Yeah, I saw one woman who had them. They were like 3 inches long, 4 inches long.
For curling at the edges.
And they were trying to work a calculator.
Yeah.
I'm going, why don't you just cut your fingernails and get on with life? Yeah, I just don't know.
That's been a 3-year project for them.
But what you do is if you make a mistake, you go, well, I got these fingernails. Yeah. So you have a perfect excuse for anything. You have a perfect excuse.
Yeah, COVID.
Well, Marjorie said to me, and I used my excuse. She said, will you take out the garbage? And I said, I can't. And she said, why? And I said, well, I have cancer. She didn't accept that.
You're playing the cancer card.
I play the cancer card. I did it with this court case once. I said, well, I just got over cancer. Just to be a little more pathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something we try to make you look every now and then to people to remind them to go to my GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe. Will Durst.
Yeah.
Throw some money in there.
Throw some money.
I know it seems like I have a lot of money, but this place has cost me $7,000 a month.
No.
And I still have to put in bathroom bars and stuff.
Yeah.
Handholds.
Yeah, and he has to pay $7,000 a month to this place. And, maybe you did have money, but you don't anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And something, let me, if I may use you as a pathetic example, this, yeah, okay, give it the pathetic look. As a pathetic example.
What's up, Matt?
Hey, Mr. T.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm on the radio.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
Oh, is that one of your roommates?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr.
Mr.
Mr. T?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not the one that was
no,
TV.
No. Not that Mr. T.
Not that Mr. T. Another Mr. T. Is that your nickname for him, or is that his nickname?
No, that's his nickname.
Oh, wow.
How you doing today?
He's from Samoa.
Samoa.
So far, so good. But it's early.
Yeah. When he asks you how it's going, you should say Samoa the same. Samoa the same.
I will.
Okay. I could get killed for a joke like
You
that.
today, yeah?
No, I'm just here. It's what is it, Friday?
No, it's Saturday.
Is it Saturday?
Yeah.
There's some good football games on.
Oh, okay. So you have that to look forward to.
Yeah, college football today.
Oh.
Whee!
Yeah. Do you have a good TV set in there?
I do. Debbie bought me a TLC Nokia, not Nokia. What is it? It's got the Roku built in.
Oh yeah, the TLC. Yeah, with the Roku built in. That's what we have.
Oh yeah.
We bought that for the living room. Yeah, and absolutely inexpensive. was like $350 for a 55-incher, and
Exactly.
and you get the Roku built in. How good
And you
is
get
that?
Roku in, yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. But now TLC has gone to using, what is it, Amazon or something? Some kind of
Fire?
no. What did they go to? They went to Android, something with Android. But I love that TLC Roku. It's I'd say the second best television set in the house, and I should know.
Streams really well. Streams really well.
Yeah, well, it has also. It's better than all my other sets, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Oh, five television sets. Well, I have. It's a big apartment. I got to have one in every room.
Yeah. Do you have YouTube TV?
No, I don't get that. I'm thinking of doing what they call cutting the cord.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I still have to pay for the internet. I still have to pay for my cable box. Now, right now, I'm paying half price for full 1 terabyte, throughput, which I need for the show and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just kind of amazed me that if you do away with all the cable stuff and you still want the internet, it's going to cost me double, like $100, $110, something like that. So then you got to start adding all the stuff in you're going to buy, like the YouTube TV, or if you don't get that, there are a lot of other versions of that.
HBO Max.
But then I have to go get HBO Max because I don't pay. It's part of my service right now because I have it on Files. I have Paramount. I have
Love Paramount.
I have Disney with their complete package that includes Hulu without commercials.
And ESPN.
Yeah, ESPN. Yeah. And what else do I have?
I love Paramount.
What?
It's got all the old. I love the Paramount. It's got all the old Perry Masons on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never liked the old Perry Mason show. You really liked it?
Yeah.
Why?
It's comforting.
It's comforting in what way? It just.
You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And he always gets his man.
Yeah. Isn't there one episode where he loses the case?
Yeah, but he loses the case right in the beginning.
Oh.
And then they spend the rest of the episode and he figures it out.
He figures out where he went wrong.
Right.
And then solves it and wins the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you seen almost every episode of Perry Mason?
Yeah. Paramount only goes up to season 9.
How many seasons were there?
I think 11. I'm not sure.
11 seasons. Wow. Yeah, I never was.
And back then they did 30 shows a season. They went all the way from September to May.
Yeah. In fact, in the early days, it was, I think, 36 was a run. And then they went down to 22, and now on most cable shows, they're 13 and maybe 10.
Yeah, 12 or 13, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the English model.
Yes, it always was. They would do what they called it a series, not a season. And they do like 13. And they're even going down to 10. And HBO, in some cases, it goes down all the way to 8.
8 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm okay with that.
Well, I don't mind it.
I have found that, when I get engaged in a first season, I will sometimes watch the second season, and it's exactly like the first season, and I lose interest by about the third or fourth one.
Okay. And usually, do you notice most of these series, if you watch them and you binge them, you suddenly realize the second season isn't as good as the first season. Never. The sophomore season is always, they call it the sophomore jinx, okay? The sophomore season usually isn't as good. And then you get to the third season and they seem to want to correct all the mistakes they made in the second season, and you've got a good season there. And then they keep going and they're pretty good.
Did you watch the Beatles?
Yes, absolutely. Was that?
What do you think?
I think it was the best music documentary I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's like you're a fly on the wall.
So John wasn't the dick. Paul was the dick.
Oh, Paul was a big dick.
Who knew?
I knew.
I was prepared for John to be the dick.
No, John wasn't a dick. John was always up for a good time. You know?
He was also, he knew it was his band.
But I hear so many interviews with people who postulate that, oh, Paul was the great writer and the great leader of the group and the great mind for the group. I think the true intelligence of that group was Lennon. You know? He wrote the best songs so far as I'm concerned. I mean, you can take anything that Paul wrote, take any one of his Yesterday, any one of those sickly things he wrote, and compare it to something like, what was it, In My Life? Is that the song? There are places I have, da-da-da-da-da-da, in my
I remember.
life. Yeah, In My Life. That is one of the greatest songs ever written. The lyrics are fantastic. I mean, the sentiment is terrific, but it's not sweet, sickly stuff like Yesterday. I went, I mean, so you can take, they could extricate all of Paul's music from the Beatles, and I wouldn't give a shit.
And you could give it to the 1910 Fruit Gum.
Well, they would have been happy with it, you know. Admittedly, the stuff that Paul wrote was many times recorded by other people because it was that kind of song. John's stuff was a little more complicated.
A little more personal, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in my life, I don't know if I know of anybody who's recorded that besides the Beatles. And it's one of the best songs ever written. So I don't go along with this whole idea about Paul being so great in that group. You know, at times I think Ringo made more of a contribution. By the way, did you notice how quiet Ringo was during this whole thing? He just sat there behind the drums, not talking.
Yeah, but Paul wasn't telling him how to play the drums either.
No. But he didn't. I think the reason
telling George how to play the guitar.
Well, because Paul played a guitar. The only reason he played the bass was he decided that he'd be the bass player in the group, but he basically was a guitar player. So I mean, but yeah, he was telling George how to play the guitar, and George had specialized in the guitar. You know, these guys were out writing and stuff, and using an instrument was second to them. To George, it was everything, and so he was really learning his craft. So, but it's just a very revealing thing, and it's a good way to put a period on the history of the Beatles. Much better than the original film, which made it look like all they were doing was arguing. You know. And at the end, you get this feeling that they're really happy. They're really happy because they're back to being the band they were when they started out.
Yeah, it's like Hamburg.
Yeah, they seem like they're really happy, in a happy space. By the time they get to that roof, they're in a happy space. You know? And some great songs came out of that session.
Yeah, and they did it all in 2 weeks.
A little more than that, but about 3 weeks, actually. Because they kept pushing up the roof date from 2 weeks, and it finally, I think, got to 3 weeks. But anyway, so listen, I just want to.
Although the songs were, they went back to simple.
Yeah.
Get Back.
Right.
Get Back.
The best song I love out of that whole album.
Don't Get Me Down. Don't Bring Me Down.
One of the best songs in that album and on that show is a thing they wrote when they first started out. One After 909.
The One After 909.
Yeah, they wrote that when they were before they got a record contract. They wrote that song. It's a great song, and also that Commonwealth song that Paul was making up as he went along about the Commonwealth and how they're racist and so on. Terrific, but of course that never made it onto an album. Yeah. Hey, listen, we run out of time here, my friend.
Oh no!
I want to remind people
I watch the Beatles again.
I want to remind people once again that this man named Will Durst had a stroke. He had a stroke. He had a stroke.
Had a stroke?
Yeah, and he is on GoFundMe. GoFundMe, and you can send this pathetic human being some money.
Yeah, I gotta rehabilitate my bathroom with bars and ramps. And shit.
He's talking about putting alcohol into his bathroom. You see,
Yeah.
fitting it with bars. Okay, it's a joke. It's a joke. Forget it.
Pull me up bars.
I should make fun. You're a stroke victim. I should make fun of you.
No.
Huh?
No, that's mean.
But when you were doing it as a kid, it wasn't, right?
Right.
Yeah. Look at that spaz over there. Right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stick around when we're through here. That's Will Durst.
I made fun of Bobcat Goldthwait when he first came to San Francisco.
yeah. Thanks.
Because remember John Landau said about Bruce Springsteen, I've seen the future of rock and roll, and it's Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
So when Bobcat Goldthwait came to San Francisco, my line was, I've seen the future of comedy, and it is spaz.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he is. That's Will Durst.
This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 7th year. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Yeah, okay, there is the wonderful and terrific, and we love him, Will Durst. Okay? Thank you very much, Will. That's really nice of you. Let me see here. Oops. Do we have, what people do we have here? Hold on a second. Let me see here. Let me admit a few people up on our thing here. There we go. I thought I did something tonight that would stop me from being out of sync, and it's working a little bit, but not as much. But I was told that I was reading around trying to figure out how to get rid of this lag that I get once I'm on Zoom. Okay, and it said, well, lower the amount of the resolution on your 4K camera. So I lowered the resolution, and so now I should be going out a little bit better, but it still seems like, well, I'm okay. It's all right, But anyway, it's time for people to call, and the only person that we have currently on our on our Zoom call. Well, there he is, folks. Is that going to be it? Is that going to be it for tonight?
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think
so.
A few people are going to show
I
up.
think so. I think this is going to be that night, shortly before my 82nd birthday, that people are going to go, yeah, I'm not going to call him anymore. And the only one I got here is Jeff, because Jeff is loyal. He's a trooper.
Plus, I like the fact that your birthday you're always older than I am.
Yeah, that makes you feel good, does it?
It's a certain benefit of
Well,
that.
you're about what? You're 10 years younger than me?
No, well, I'm
What are you?
75.
Oh, you are 75. Oh, okay. I thought you were like 72 or something like that.
Thank you.
Okay, well, you're 7 years younger than I am, so, it's pretty terrific if you think about it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But anyway, so you're it. You're the show tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could tell you that my son got to go to a party last week. So, and then he came and met us for a day.
Yeah.
I think it was on Friday.
Oops. Yeah, move this.
And he calls us back after a couple of days and says, Dad, I got to tell you something that I didn't want to tell you, but I have to tell you. I says, what's that? He says, one of the guys at the show, at the party that they were at got sick with COVID.
Oh, jeez.
So Pam and I got to get tested again.
Oh,
Well,
boy. Oh, you're getting tested. Now, this person says, oh, there he is. Hello. It says,
Yeah.
it says work now there on your thing.
Hey, Alex.
Hello. I forget your first name again. I'm terrible with names at this age.
Matt.
Matt, of course. See,
I don't know
because down there it says work.
Oh, I have two profiles, so I guess I'm on my other screen.
You're on the work profile. Is this,
No.
Yeah.
Same as two profiles.
Yeah. Hello, Matt. How are you? Oh, so anyway,
good.
we were talking to Jeff, and his son
Hey, Jeff.
was at a party with somebody who had COVID. Terrific. That's wonderful.
Wow. My coworker got COVID, and he did everything right, and he still got it.
Yeah, but did he get it bad?
Not sure yet. The only reason he knew it because he lost the sense of taste. So I guess it's kind of good that it does that, so then you know to get checked. But he didn't even know he had it. But now he does sound congested and kind of coughing and everything.
I lost my sense of taste the day I started watching porn. So, yeah. That's a joke, folks. I'm trying. I'm really trying. It's getting harder and harder. But, I mean, what they say is that Omicron, you'll find out if you have it or not within 3 days. Within 3 days, it starts showing up, okay? And that people who have been vaccinated with the booster just get mildly sick, and that's it. Yes, there is a lot of people who are getting it, but the vaccine is preventing them from getting a deadly case of COVID. So,
yeah, I got the booster on Sunday, and I was wiped out for 2 days. I felt like I had a fever. I felt like I had punched in the arm. I mean, yeah, it's worth it, but it is rough.
I wonder how everybody that has the Johnson & Johnson feels today. Because they're just saying, well, it didn't really work. It's if you got I think Fauci said if you have the Johnson & Johnson, go get a Pfizer booster, get another shot of the Pfizer.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go back to selling Band-Aids. I mean, this is not working out for them too well. And part of the problem is that they said, well, we have it. It's just one shot, and that's it. You're protected. But you were only protected by about 72%, which is exactly the protection you got from any of the others with only one shot. It was because you had to get 2 shots that you got up to 95% efficacy. And,
right.
So that was the deal with that thing, And it's amazing. Where is everybody tonight? What happened? Did they say Alex is too old for us now?
Thursdays seem to be a slower day for you.
And well, last night was pretty good. Last night started out slow, and then it ramped up.
Yeah.
And then Thursdays are maybe I should stop doing Thursdays. Tell you what happened to me the other day. I'm not doing Tuesdays anymore because I decided I am doing Mondays. I do a show on Monday at 4:00 in the afternoon. And the reason I went to 4 days a week is because I didn't want to work 5 days a week. But then all of a sudden I found I was working 5 again, so I figured I'd kill the Tuesday show. So I killed the Tuesday show, and then I sometimes forget that Tuesdays I don't have a show, and hey, I don't have a show on Tuesday. That's my day off, okay? And then I forgot, because of that I had an interview to do with Larry Bubbles Brown, who appears on this show regularly. And I'm very good at calling him, but I didn't call him because somehow I forgot completely because it was my day off. And I didn't call him, and all of a sudden I get like a text from Larry, which is something because Larry is such a Luddite that for him to text is a major deal.
Yeah.
And he texts me and goes, "You didn't call today." And I went, oh my God, it's finally happening. I'm completely losing it because I never had to. I do have a schedule. I do have it listed, okay? But somehow I just, I just don't seem to.
You don't have a routine. You got a routine.
Well, I have a calendar, and it should come up in my my echo. I have to say it like that, otherwise she But
hey, was that Will Durst? Was that Will Durst interview? Was that the same one from a couple days ago? Or was that another one?
This is another one. Yeah, we did two.
Oh, okay.
We did two in one day. One of the reasons we did two in one day is I suddenly realized, and this was a great thing to realize, was that I wasn't able to get him so that he wasn't like a portrait mode, and that looks terrible on the show,
Yeah.
and I hate it. And the reason was I told him to turn it, and it didn't work. And then all of a sudden I realized he had his iPad locked. So when he unlocked it, and then we turned it sideways, we got the full picture of him. So I figured as long as we got it looking good like this, let's do one more. So we did one more. So that was the second one. So
Yeah.
I loved having him on because I think it's kind of therapy for him. It's kind of therapeutic on a certain level. Well, Mr. Stroke Victim, don't you?
I spent a year at therapy.
Yeah, at therapy. And something like that is good for you.
Oh, yeah.
Get your brain going. It makes you feel you have some self-worth. It's good. So I do it with him because I love the guy. And he's been very good to me over the years, and I've been good to him too. And now I call him every now and then, not on the show, and he's there. We just talk for a while, and it's good to know. So, is anybody else out there a stroke victim? Because you're not calling. Man,
We don't need them.
We don't need them. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Do you know what happens if you put in gabnet.com?
What do you get?
You get a login page to get a virtual doctor appointment.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Really?
Wait a minute.
I mean, that's what I get. I just did it twice, and
Wait a
it still
minute.
does it.
Well, last time I looked, see, they tried to sell me gabnet.com. Okay? I just put in gabnet.com came up first. Let's see here. No, you know what that is? That is a Dominion available for sale. Okay.
What's that?
It says virtual doctor care. It has a bunch of other links and stuff. But basically, the page says to purchase, call after Nick or whatever. See it at the very top of the page? And
No, mine just says virtual doctor care, Blue Shield, find a doctor, and then find symptoms here. That's all it says on mine.
No, this is, on mine at the very top. There's a an orange banner with white lettering that says this domain is available for sale. And what they tried to do is they tried to sell me my gabnet.com, and I wanted it. I would have taken it, but they had like a what do you call it? An auction. So I put in a bid. And I put in a bid of like $200 just for the hell of it. All right?
Yeah.
And then somebody went up to $500. So I figured, what the hell, I'll go up to $500. Then somebody went up to $1,000. And I figured somebody's trying to outbid me, and I don't really need it. Everybody knows it's gabnet.net, all right? So I don't really need it, so to hell with it. All of a sudden, I get a call from like this Internick, or After Nick. I think I actually called them, and I said, what about this? You say now it's not on you had an auction, and that somebody won the auction, but nobody won the auction. Was it you guys? I mean, it's this phony baloney thing, and this has been this way. It's been this way for, I'd say, 2 years now, that this domain has not been sold.
Weird.
So, I mean, and then when I found out who was doing it, my what do you call it? The site that I work out of, the organization I work out of and have all my sites on and things like that, is GoDaddy. Turns out this company is owned by GoDaddy. GoDaddy was bidding against me to get the rights and then to resell them, but they haven't been able to. So, yeah, it's a really phony baloney thing, and it was enough to make me want to leave GoDaddy, but I said, what the hell, I'm there, it's all set in stone, and, you know, outside of this, they've never done wrong by me, so that's what we have, so. Hello there, Alan.
Hello, I'm just looking to see it. It is for sale on GoDaddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to put your name and address. It doesn't say how much though. When I've looked at.
Oh no. They will try. You know, I said to them. So I said, okay. So let's say I want to buy it. Okay. And they said, well, okay, it'll be $10,000. You know, come on. Nobody. I may phone them up the next couple of weeks and go, you know, nobody's bought this thing. You know, I'll give you $200 to get it off your books. You know.
I'm going to check into it, not right this minute, but I'm going to check into it. I'm going to make an offer of a few $100s. And if I can get it, then I can switch it over to you.
Well, the thing is, well, that'd be very nice of you. Because
I'm a nice guy once in a while.
Well,
For a price.
Well, you know,
if I can get it for $200, he's giving me $200 worth of interest.
I don't think they're going to give it to you for $200. They're going to pull some kind of bit. But you tell them, you know, this thing's been sitting there for 2 or 3 years now, you know, and nobody bought it. So don't they want to get it off their books?
I got a long time ago, IBM.net. Before .nets were really popular.
Yeah.
I paid $500 for it.
Yeah.
IBM wanted it a year later. I figured they would have at some point, and they paid me $5,000 for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of these people buy these names. That was like 10 years ago or something. A lot of these people buy these names, as you're probably aware, as an investment.
Well, you want to know who in the very beginning bought some really good URLs, they're called.
Right.
It was CNET, because I worked at CNET and they told me the story. They bought, for instance, all the names, generic names they could come up with. Food.com, pets.com, this.com, that.com. They must have had 100 of them, and you could get them. You can buy. You know, you can get into business with those for next to nothing. And they were a company, so they had a lot of money. So they started taking out all these, and news.com. That was the big one. That sold for $1 million or something like that. You know. So a lot of people, you're right, were doing exactly that, and the biggest one doing it was CNET.
Really?
Yeah. And they were on it in the very beginning.
Well, somebody told me that I got a real good deal because if you get like the letter A.com, it's gonna the minimum is like $25,000 or something for one letter. 2 letters, it's 25,000. 3 letters is 10,000. They said, you paid 500. I said, yeah, 500 and a little bit of change. And they're like, you really got lucky. Who'd you get it from? And is it legitimate? And I went on to who is this or something. I forget the name.
Well, when I first started getting my own URLs, like I had a thing called Radio Free Jack, which is still there actually. RadioFreeJack.com. I just, I could have gotten anything. I could have gotten IBM or, back in the day when I got it, and people, but what IBM could have done, you could have gotten screwed. And I'll tell you how, because they have since passed a law that if IBM wants IBM.com and their company, or .net, and their company is IBM, and that is the name of an infringible patent, trademark,
right?
That they can just appeal to. What's the company that does all of it, that takes care of all the domains? I'm trying to remember their name now because they bill me once every couple of years.
Okay.
They can say you can't have that. You have to give it back. You know, you have to give it to
Somehow,
them.
is it somehow run by the patent
No,
organization?
no. It's I'm trying to remember what it's called. I use them all the time. I'm getting old. I can't remember anything anymore. You'll have to excuse me.
Hey, Alex, what did you do at CNET? Were you on video or on audio only? Or
Audio. They had a radio station. They actually had a radio station in San Francisco. They took over a radio station, and we were doing programming there.
Oh, I never heard that one.
Yeah.
So were they a radio station before they were a website, I guess?
No, they were a website before they were a radio station.
Oh, okay.
And it's the only job where after the first 3 months I wanted to blow my brains out. And the reason is I got so sick and tired of the only topic being computers. And I was they brought me in to kind of try to take the format and do it in different ways and make it entertaining and so on. So I did just that, and after I did that, they fired me. Because they wanted to appeal to the Silicon Valley professional. And this was right at the time when Silicon Valley was tanking out, right? Remember that whole .com flop going on?
Yeah.
And I said to the head of CNET, I looked him straight in the face and I said, you do realize there are no more computer professionals left because they've all been fired. They don't have jobs. I can go take their furniture off the street in front of their buildings where they're trying to get rid of the furniture. You know, I said, your notion that there's a internet professional is bullshit. You know, and it was true. I mean, I was in the middle of that whole thing. When the whole flop started to take place, I was on CNET reporting it. And it was disastrous. I mean, it was like...
Remember that.
Yeah. It was the most horrible thing that ever happened to the computer
Other
companies.
than maybe Miami.
Well, Miami was just horrible on its own level, you know. But it was just like every day I had to, you know, so I would go in and try and make it interesting. And I actually got ratings for the station. The station didn't have ratings. They didn't make the rating book. You have to get over a certain amount to get a rating. And I did that. So they got listed. My show got listed in the rating books because I got a decent sized number for them, or, you know, decent for them. And in spite of the fact that I was the most popular thing they had on the air, I wasn't appealing to the internet professional. Fuck you. You know. Terrible organization.
CNET has always been based on computers and software and stuff like that.
Well, since then they've been bought. You know, they were bought by CBS. So
oh, really?
Yeah, they were owned by CBS. I think they're still owned by CBS. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't follow it.
But you know,
I do see Dominion, the voting machine company.
Dominion.
Dominion.
Yeah.
Oh, Dominion. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Voting.
Yeah, Dominion. It's a very good company.
Wins a key decision against Fox News. You know, because Fox News slandered them, saying their machines were junk and cheating.
Oh, they won. They won that suit.
Well,
I'm sure it was probably a settlement, if it's anything, because they haven't had time to go to trial on that. Dominion.
Okay, wins key decision lawsuit against Fox News.
Really? Boy, that was a fast case.
Yeah, that just popped up on the phone. So that's nice. You know, it's too bad more people don't.
Well, you know who else they sued is the My Pillow guy.
Really?
Well, yeah, because the My Pillow guy was going around saying the Dominion machines were, you know, all rigged and so on.
Yeah.
So did that just come through?
Yeah, just now.
Wow.
On let's see just on my iPhone it just came through. Well, it actually came through earlier, I guess.
Yeah.
As I sent it to Phil. Oh, I was looking. Phil sent me a text. It came through at 4:51 p.m.
Oh, really?
It was on CNN.
Really? I wonder if it's on Drudge right now.
So Phil sent me I can. So I sent them back the word you can. I don't know what ICANN is.
ICANN, yes, ICANN is the name of the company. That's the one that it divvies out most of the internet titles. Like, for instance, I have alexbennett.com. I took it because I didn't want anybody else to do alexbennett.com, but if somebody did, I could make a case with ICANN that my name is Alex Bennett and it's ripping me off, you know.
I wonder, but you can't, you know, if somebody got alexbennett.com, you couldn't do anything.
I have alexbennett.com.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, alexbennett.net, you couldn't do anything.
I probably could complain about it, yeah.
IBM threatened me when I had this, because they said you're not IBM, we are, and although the .nets just came out, and we see that you bought it for, you know, we'll give you 10 times more than you paid for it. And I thought, I don't want to get into a bidding war and a hassle with these people. They're a lot bigger than I am. I can't afford lawyers.
You think?
They offered me a little over $5,000, and I took the damn thing. I said, send me a check and I'll sign on the dotted line.
Yeah.
And the people that were the marketing people that were trying to get it probably made $10,000.
Well, when I first went for Gabnet, I went for Gabnet.com, but there was a Gabnet.com, and it was in Brazil, and it was the name of some organized school or something like that. And so, you know, I'd go there every now and then and see if they were still around. Apparently, they eventually gave it up. But I didn't like getting .nets. I didn't think they were that memorable. But then I said Gabnet.net. That really works.
Yep.
You know, so Gabnet.net's been very good for me. I mean, it's very easy to remember.
And there's no ads on your site, though, right? You don't make any money off of the site itself, is that right?
Money? What's that?
Crypto, man.
Huh?
How do you think you can afford that big fancy apartment?
Yeah.
By the way, I had to file with Google to get my W-2 form for the $200 I made this year off of the ads that precede the program on Gabnet.
And it probably put you into a different tax bracket.
It probably jumped me into the next tax bracket, you know. But no, I got paid by Google.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I never mentioned this. You know, I tune into all these. How many of you guys Matt? Do you watch YouTube to any extent?
Yeah, I pay for the commercial-free YouTube, so yeah, I watch YouTube all the time.
But you can watch just the regular YouTube stuff, but they don't have commercials.
There's no ads in front of it. Yeah, it takes all that out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I subscribe. I use YouTube a lot. It's like I'm addicted to it. I just go to see what's there, and then I watch one thing and another, and after I've watched everything, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You know. And my nose is so plugged up lately.
Matt, if you got, you're probably a lot better at this than I am, but I got something called Ad Block Plus, and it works on YouTube, and so I don't see any of the ads, and I don't pay anything for YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let me find it. Make sure I'm giving you the correct name.
Well, anyway, but you don't get anything. You just get YouTube, or do you get other stuff with YouTube that you pay for?
You pay $12 and you get no ads, and you get unlimited music. So you know, on the Google Home devices, you can play music commercial free.
Oh, okay.
Ad Block Plus, all one. Well, 2 words. Plus is a different word.
Yeah. Well, anyway. So where I was going with all of this? Hi, Kevin. Where I was going with all of this was that every time I watch one of these guys doing something, they go, and by the way, before we get going with me telling you the 10 different ways that you can make your computer do this, that, or the other thing, why don't you subscribe to me right below?
Right.
I have never mentioned that to my audience. So I'm now saying it. If you're watching, see the thing that says subscribe right below me here?
Yeah.
Right here? Yeah. Right down there? It'd be a pleasure if you clicked on that.
No, you have to say smash it.
Smash it? Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, you smash that button.
Smash the button that says subscribe. I think there's one other button down there that says.
Every person that subscribes, you get 20 cents a year, right?
No, I don't get anything. I don't get anything. But just push the button that says subscribe. If you're watching us right now live and there are, what, 5 of you? How many are out there right now?
4 plus you.
Huh?
4.
5,
plus
including you.
No, let me see here. Hold on a second. I got to go here and find it. Okay. There we go. Let's see here. We have 37 people. If all of you would go down there and click on that thing that says subscribe, okay, it would help. Okay, and if you're watching this right now and you want to help me, just hit subscribe. I don't know what it does. It just ups my number. That's all.
It puts your new videos into my feed, so it helps me see when you got new stuff.
Oh yes, it will do that too. And
Yeah.
you can't get entertainment like this anywhere. Okay,
No.
That's for
at
sure.
any price. Okay, so it's well worth it. All right. Oh boy.
I think that's in on YouTube, right?
Yeah. So anyway, so if you would you push on the button that says subscribe? I don't know where that is. I can't see it here, but it's supposedly.
I smashed your button a long ago.
You smashed
Yeah,
my
so
button.
did
a long
I.
time ago.
Mine says I'm subscribed.
You have to go to the actual site, which is let me see here. If I go here, well, I right now I have 1,286 subscribers, and we're looking to get 100,000 by January. Okay, folks. So everybody, you just go. Oh, I went down one since I started talking about this. Okay.
But what irritates me about the video producers of today, though, is they embed ads in their own little presentations.
Yeah.
And that is not exempted with my $12 a month. So I still get an ad from some people.
Well, they add inside their.
Yeah, they'll be doing their little spiel, and they'll say, "Oh, by the way, this is brought to you by blah 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 blah."
Yeah, right. Let me see here.
I play a game.
Yeah.
It's just reels spinning around like slot machines and all kinds of different ones. And it says any purchase stops all ads. So you spend 99 cents. I've spent a lot more. And you still get these ads all the time. And I wrote to them and I said, "What's this about?" And they said, "Well, any outside ads, we can still solicit you with our ads." And I said, "But it doesn't say that. It says any ad."
No, what happens is people record their programs and then they have some kind of sponsor.
Yeah.
And then that goes through because it's in the body of the show. What you don't see are all the commercials that are not in the body of the show. You get what I'm saying?
But nowadays, so you can watch a lot of the shows, like the late night shows, all those talk shows. They're all on YouTube, so you can just watch them all commercial free, and it's just so much easier, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So Matt, the AdBlock Plus is on my browser. It's an add-on.
Oh, okay.
And so you just add it on. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, but what about if you're watching it on your TV using a Roku?
No, then I don't think it works.
Oh yeah.
Or
That's
Apple
completely
TV.
useless to me.
Number of items blocked 852,000.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's good.
It's don't get the ad block, get the AdBlock Plus and PLUS.
What I like right now is I've got 2 people side by side with beards.
Yep.
Isn't that nice?
Really?
Oh, well, actually,
see,
you're the only guy, Matt, on the show tonight without a beard.
I just have a 5 o'clock shadow, but not a beard.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Did you see the message on speaking of on Facebook? Somebody, you posted something yesterday, and they said something about the guy with the gray beard or with the beard.
Yeah,
guess the beard.
I did away with that post.
Oh
Yeah.
God. So something or rather. and I'm
Well,
thinking, well, listen,
maybe it wasn't you. Maybe they were talking about Kevin. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I first thought, well, this has got to be me, but I don't have a beard. I have a goatee. But then Jeff has a beard, and Kevin's got a beard, and so
And it was talking about somebody making noise, and you're the one that makes the most noise because you eat.
No, I stopped that. So, but actually, I mean, I'm not complaining here. Don't get me wrong, but Kevin chair squeaks and he turns, and when he's not saying anything, he's got a real sensitive microphone and stuff. And you know, and I
you know something, I don't
assume they meant Santa Claus.
I
don't know.
I don't mind. I don't mind, and in fact, I did away with that post because I don't like people slamming my people at all. You know, that pisses me off. Who are they? They're not calling this show.
I didn't even recognize the name from the side text thing group.
So, Matt, you've been up in Seattle for how long now?
Since July.
Since July, and you liking it up there?
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, lately, it's been really, really cold and everything, but I've been having a lot of back trouble. And today, in fact, I was on doing we were speaking of the video doctor calls. You know, I did one. That was our first one today, and because I want to get some drugs. And then after I hung up, I thought,
wait. You can get drugs from a doctor online?
Yes. Oh. I did a video chat.
A video chat, but how did you find that?
Your own doctor.
Was it your own doctor?
Yeah, my own doctor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the first time I met her. I don't have a regular doctor yet. I've been trying to get a regular doctor.
Oh, so you met her you Zoomed her?
Yeah, I Zoomed her. Yeah.
And so does she then send you a bill, or does she bill your insurance? Or what?
Of course. Yeah,
does she bill your insurance?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a regular doctor. Yeah. It's just you don't go in, which I was really trying. I wanted to go in because I've never done a video doctor appointment, and so it went fine. But then she gave me some prescriptions that I'll pick up tomorrow.
What does she do? Hold its stethoscope up to the screen?
No, show me your throat or whatever.
You haven't done a video, Alex, with your doctor? Any of your doctors?
Oh no, I have one. Yeah, my neurologist, and he actually had me walk, so he could see how I was walking. This was during COVID.
Right.
So, my neurologist, he had me walking and doing stuff like that, you know.
I think I saw that one. You were doing somersaults in the front room too.
Yeah.
It's an odd thing, but what I was getting at was after I hung up, I thought, you know what? I'm in Seattle. Maybe I should just become a stoner again.
That could help. That could help.
Have you guys ever used pot for pain relief?
So
I don't. Huh? What were you saying, Kevin?
Yeah, I guess a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah. I never use it for pain relief, but then again, maybe I did use it for pain relief, but it was from the society in general, you know.
Psychological pain.
It's psychological pain, yeah.
It's from Trump being president.
Yeah.
I use CBD lotion for my hands and the arthritis and my knuckles and stuff.
Does it work?
Yeah, it works pretty good.
I mean, does it work because your mind says it works, or does it work?
Maybe, I don't know, but when I get these sharp pains in my knuckles, in my knuckles and fingers,
right?
And I got this CBD lotion I get from Oregon, and I wipe it on there when it really starts bugging me, and it goes away.
Oh, I just go get these cortisone shots.
Yeah, screw that.
Because I love the pain.
Yeah.
That's the most painful shot I've ever had in my life.
Mm.
Yeah, I used to get those in my ankle, and
no.
Then they don't work anymore.
I get them in my hand. That's not painful compared to the biopsy on my prostate. That was painful.
Let's not go to that conversation again, please.
The prostate,
quite a comparison.
My prostate biopsy didn't hurt me in the least.
Okay. Let's not go to that one again.
Yeah, we had that conversation last week, and Kevin and I both thought different.
Well, by the way, this is probably the reason I don't have any young viewers, because of this subject matter.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking CBD for my arthritis. Well, I had cortisone shots for mine.
Yeah, sure.
And some younger people are going, I'm sorry, this doesn't have anything to do with makeup tips.
Let Dr. Allen add a couple things. So if the CBD stuff is working or not, if it's working in your head, that's called the placebo effect.
That's correct, yes.
And Matt, you were on you were on Zoom or whatever with your doctor, and before Zoom and Skype and stuff, one doctor would talk to another doctor, and it was called telemedicine, and it still is. Like a television, telemedicine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you know some new terms.
Or telephone.
By the way,
like
here comes Brian Neary, one of the. Well, let's see. How old are you, Matt? You're in your 40s, right?
I just turned 56.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're how old, Brian?
50 something.
Wait, come on. You don't know how old you are?
You ask me every time I say the same answer. I think I'm 54. I think so.
You think?
Yeah.
Why do you think?
I don't keep tracking.
Tell us what year you were born, and we'll tell you how old you are.
1967 November. So I just turned something.
You're 54.
Yeah, I just turned 54.
So because tomorrow, Saturday, I turn 82.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was going to mention Friday on the show. Let's wish Alex a happy birthday.
I've been watching that Norm Macdonald show. Norm Macdonald has a show on Netflix.
Yes, that was a great show.
Yeah, obviously it doesn't have any more, but Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda was on there. 80
Yes.
Years old. Wow. I've seen a couple interviews with her lately, and she's even if she's had some work done, she still looks good.
I think somewhere in that McDonald interview, he said something about if you had work done. She says, of course.
He kissed her.
Oh, yes, she has.
He kissed her at the end, too.
Huh?
Jeez, he kissed her at the end.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty hot.
Like a lip kiss or
No, it was on the lips. Yeah.
So
And then,
did you get any tongue?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Echo, how old is Jane Fonda?
82.
No, 80.
Jane Fonda is 83 years old.
83 years old. She's older than I am.
That was filmed. Yeah, that was filmed. Yeah. Yeah, and the car show stuff, and I know Kevin knows this, the car show stuff, Candy Clark goes to all the car shows. She was the blonde in
American Graffiti.
Not Suzanne Summers, but and she's 72 or 73. Yeah, I got mine too. And she's gorgeous too. I see her at all the shows, and we all sort of hang out there. And she's really not the wrinkles or anything. She's really beautiful.
Well, she probably had work.
Living through cosmetic surgery.
No, I don't think she has.
Really?
And she had a really lifestyle. I mean, she was with David Bowie. She was with.
She actually played David Bowie in that movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She posts a lot of pictures, and she's in the Hollywood scene with everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
She filled in for him, I think, one day when he was sick.
Oh, really?
And, yeah.
Where are you in 62? Wasn't born yet.
You know where I was in 62? Anybody try and take a guess where I was in 62?
In San Francisco.
You're close, but not close enough. I was working the radio station.
Yep, for the Navy.
In Marin.
No.
KTIM.
Nope.
It was in L.A.
Okay. Where did American Graffiti take place?
Modesto.
You know where I was in 82?
Modesto.
Modesto, California, working at a radio station.
I thought we were talking about where you were in 62.
62, excuse me, 62. In 62, I was working at KFIV in Modesto, California.
Really?
Yes.
And you don't even know Spanish.
Well, I don't know, but all I know is that I believe George Lucas grew up there and was living there at the time when he wrote American Graffiti.
Probably knew Gene Winfield, too.
Who, Gene Winfield? Who's that?
Yeah, he was car builder down there.
Yeah. Yeah, all the big car builders came from that area, Stockton area, all that George Barris, all those big.
Oh, you're talking about people who take existing cars and then reconstruct them to be something else. And
custom car builders, yeah.
Well, like Barris did the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all those guys came from that area, Stockton area, Merced area, Modesto. Yeah. Big car scene.
They got nothing else to do out there.
Cow tipping.
Well, as I used to say about Modesto, it's not it's not the middle of nowhere, but you can see the middle of nowhere from there.
Yep.
I go to Lodi every Monday and Tuesday now for the new building, and yeah, they keep saying, "Oh, you should buy a house out here."
Yeah.
No, every house I look at has like 10 acres of orchards, and no thanks.
My son lives out there in the Selma, Fresno area.
God, all those names.
And I used to drive out there
all those names,
3 days a week.
When I was living down there, all those names of towns were part of my life.
Yep. Ceres.
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 Spelled Ceres, right?
Yep. That was the butthole of Modesto. And if you think Modesto's bad, Ceres is worse.
Wow.
Did Tracy even exist when you were in Modesto, Alex?
Yeah, Tracy existed. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Tracy been around for a long time. I used to say about Tracy that Tracy has the great distinction of being the town where when you're giving directions to somebody, you say turn left at Tracy, or turn right at Tracy, or go north from Tracy, go south from
go
Tracy.
Through it, just don't stop.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through Tracy at one time or another, and then turns left or right, or we're doing this and getting a great deal of joy out of this because, three of the people on the show are in the Bay Area right now, and that is, of course, where I grew up. So, But anyway, do you know that we actually have a lot of people watching tonight? And we're not talking about anything. See the value of not talking about anything?
And this whole time I thought it was Phil on the show that brought everybody on.
And I think I may have come close to solving that problem I have on the end of the show where I go out of sync. But we'll see for sure. But I just checked and I'm not out of sync yet on that camera. So
we don't see it.
You're not going to see it, but but I think I'm going to be okay. Let me see here. Let me look and see. Yeah, the camera. I'm okay. I'm in sync. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That solved the problem.
So what are you gonna do for your birthday, Alex?
What am I? Marjorie and I are going out and having a birthday lunch at a favorite restaurant of ours, and
gonna go find some Omicron.
Yeah, I'm gonna go looking for Omicron. But no, actually, I think we're gonna make it a birthday for her as well, because we didn't really celebrate her birthday because that was a day we got out of court. Our last day in court. Well, it's not. I'd like to think it was our last day in court, but this thing never ends.
Never ends.
Now we're arguing about price. It's something else. But anyway, we got out of court, and it was her birthday, and so she said, "I just want to let's go get something to eat." So we went to our favorite restaurant, and we got something to eat. And she says, "Well, that was my birthday dinner." And I said, "No, So I don't know. We're going to go to our favorite place on Saturday and have a bite to eat. I'll celebrate my 85th. How's that? If I make it that far.
All of us make it.
Huh?
We may all be dead from COVID.
Yeah, well, I survived that, right? But I don't know. I mean, I just, I did have cancer. So I always worry about that, it'll come back or something like that. But, something's going to get me. And I'm so fearful of death, I don't know what it's going to be like afterwards. See, I was thinking about it today, and the thing that bothers me is that this world will go on without me. Even if it doesn't go on without the human race, okay, it'll still go on without any of us. Yep. And I'd like to be here to see what happens, because things are not going to get pretty from this point on.
No,
because we're not doing anything about our stewardship of the planet.
I want to see the debate for the 2024 election between DeSantis and Trump.
By the way, let me bring up something I wanted to talk about tonight, and we got so copacetic I decided not to bring it up. But I was going to bring up the fact that today they had a news item that Chris Noth. You know who Chris Noth is? He's the guy who played Mr. Big on Sex and the City. okay, that he all of a sudden has been accused of improprieties against a woman back in 2004 and another one in 2016. And all of a sudden, these women decided to make this known because he just was on the new Sex and the City. They didn't think about going anywhere, making a big deal out of it until he appeared on the new Sex and the City. And it's not like he's going to be on that show forever because he got killed off in the first episode. And I'm a little sick of this happening because anybody can say that somebody raped them. That's all they have to say. That's all they have to say, and that person's career is ruined, and they could be lying through their teeth.
What are they saying that he did?
One woman said he raped me.
Oh, now she comes up with it?
She went back to his apartment, and she described it. He leaned her over a table, and he had sex with her. I'm sorry, you don't exactly lean over a table because somebody pushes you in that position. If they're going to rape you, it's probably going to be in a rather prone position because it's more aggressive, right?
Well, tables work good because you can get to the rear hole easy.
Yeah, but
dinner time. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Look at the time, Alex.
Dinner time.
I tell my daughters, if anybody does that, you kick them in the balls. Absolutely. Even if you miss and just barely hit him, he'll get the reaction.
Yeah, he'll get the reaction. But what I'm thinking is that, the way she described it, I'm going, that isn't your normal rape, the position for it, that she in some way might have been Anyway, all I was thinking of was that everybody's reporting this, and they're saying, well, Chris Noth said he didn't do it, and that he absolutely, to him, the word no means no, okay? And he said, I didn't do it. But nobody's listening to that part of the story. They're listening to the part where these women are saying, he did this to me. And they're all reporting it. And I'm kind of getting a little sick of this. Let's have a little more, we say alleged, I think probably would be a more important term to use here. And say nothing's been proven here, but I'll bet you Chris Noth has suddenly lost business acting roles and things like that just because of this accusation today.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I believe that women should be listened to when they make this kind of complaint, but not to the exclusion of depriving the person she's accusing of their rights and of their career, without coming out with a substantial proof. And, when you say something like that happened, there were only two of you in the room, so there's no real proof outside of the fact that you told your girlfriend after the fact, guess who I fucked? So I kind of felt for her.
I got to tell you, if my daughter, if I had a daughter, got raped, I'd hope she'd contact me before the police. Because the bad guy would be walking out of a 7-Eleven, drinking a Slurpee, and his head would explode.
Yeah, well, none of us want to see that kind of thing happen. And if it does happen, but what also bothers me too is because it diminishes the honest claims by some people.
Right, absolutely.
Because when women are exaggerating this to get publicity or whatever, or because they seize upon the moment that all of a sudden this guy is well known again for 5 minutes.
Right.
It just so cheapens all the other women who do have legitimate claims about this that are provable claims, because they say, well, that woman, who knows, she might be lying. They all lie. All right? And you don't want that. So, I just think that we have to be, the press has to be a little more responsible in reporting these sort of things.
Well, what's the statute of limitations on this? Can he really go to trial for this?
No, there's no statute. Well, to begin with, the statute of limitations on rape, I don't know. What is it now? I think it was like 15 years at one point, but not any longer.
There definitely is one, because when that dipshit Supreme Court guy had it, he couldn't get it,
right? Right. It varies from state to state.
Yeah, but the point is that whether there's a statute of limitations or not, I just think the immediate desire today is to throw the male under the bus. without even saying, well, let's look into this and make sure it's for real before we try and chastise him or hurt him and hurt his earning potential, as it were. So I feel somewhat sorry for Chris Noth, because he has to sit there and say, no, I didn't. And the more he says a no, I didn't, the more guilty he looks. You know, I think this has got to stop. I think that we've got to get a little more realistic, and we have to ask for a little more burden. There should be more of a burden of proof on the woman as well. You can't just say the man has no rights now. You know, so anyway.
Yeah, but wasn't the agreement, what I'll say maybe 30 years ago, was that the woman had no ability to argue about these things. That the man had the capability of making his own decisions, and nobody would believe him.
Listen, we went for years not believing the woman. And we went for years by just police departments would say, "Oh, get out of our police station." You know, we're not going. And I agree with that. I agree that women were treated rather shabbily over the years when they would make claims like this, and some of them were very legitimate claims. So I just think that in trying to make up for that by going completely the other way and depriving men of their rights is wrong too. You know, and that I just feel sorry. I don't feel sorry for Bill Cosby. Everybody knew what Cosby was doing. Hell, I knew what Cosby was doing, and I never even hung out with the guy. You know, so
the statute of limitation ranges by state, but it can be 10 to 20 years.
Yeah. So
it's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. But you know, I don't think anything's going to happen to Chris Noth, but I do think that his reputation has been sullied, and he's going to have a hard time finding jobs. You know, so I mean that's
didn't seem to stop Michael Jackson.
I just started watching the Jeffrey Epstein one from Netflix.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Was it good to watch?
Yeah.
I
mean, you know, Epstein, I'm sure, was an absolute creep. All right, but still, he never had his day in court, and so he's only an alleged rapist.
That was a choice that he had, not having his day in court.
But you know, I mean, again, I know people who knew Epstein, like my friend Bobby Slayton, and he said none of us who knew Epstein and hung out with Epstein knew what was going on. He said it was a surprise to me when this whole thing came to light, you know.
What the hell's Angels say? 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead.
Yeah, right. Anyway, let me see here. Where's my theme song? Oh, there it is. There's the theme. I was hitting the wrong thing. I'm out of it today. I'm kind of loopy. Do I sound loopy? No.
Are you taking pregabalin?
Because I asked Bubbles. I said today when I was interviewing him, I said, did I sound loopy at all? He said we sounded a little tired today. So I don't sound tired, do I? Okay.
No.
You don't have to say it.
Did you get one of these, Alex?
What's that?
Somebody sent me some urine test strips.
Okay.
We talked about it last week on the show, and I thought, oh yeah, okay.
It's that concerned listener who's writing all those love letters to you through Alex.
Yeah.
It's the strangest Christmas gift I've ever. Strangest Christmas gift ever.
Hey, listen, you know, there's been a small bunch of people here, but it's been a nice bunch of people, and that's really the best way to do one of these shows. And I thank you for joining me tonight. In a few moments, we'll be able to see whether I'm out of sync or not. In any event, why don't you give yourself a big wave goodbye to everybody? I'll wave goodbye at you and say so long. That's it. Okay? Let me just end the Zoom call, and we'll see exactly how in sync I am. See, I'm okay. I'm much better. Oh yeah, that's much better than it has been. Okay, so we went through the whole show. Just a little bit. Anyway. That's it for tonight. Jack Bishop is next. He's here with The Intersection. I will be back again tomorrow night, right here. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, be sure to tell her that I love her. And by the way, please wear a mask And if you don't wear a mask, get the vaccination. And if you don't get the vaccination, stick one of those swabs up your nose, okay? You can buy them now at the grocery store, at the pharmacy, or whatever. Have a nice night, everybody. Goodbye.